Okay. In 2006, I was requested by Masipag. It's a network of organic farming practitioners all over the country to collaborate with a researcher by the name of Sarah Wright. She's from the US to examine experiences of land reform in Negros Island, especially in Negros Occidental. And we visited communities that have land reform beneficiaries or undergoing struggles for land distribution. And that is how I got involved in the project. We wrote about the case studies, but the following year, that's 2007, but we did not publish it. It was only in 2017 when we decided to publish the research. Of course, we updated it, but we would like to believe that many of arguments that we put forward in that research were valid in 2017, so we decided to give it to the UP Press, and have it published. Okay. Our book is really about struggle for land ownership, and this is a long-standing inequality in the country since colonial times. Land inequality in the Philippines gave rise to all sorts of conflict and also fired up the struggles against the landed elites. So this is an ongoing problem in the Philippines. The landed elites came up with their own narratives that demonize those who struggle for land reform and also label them as communists, as terrorists. But I think they have every reason to demand for land distribution in places where there's so much poverty, there's so much inequality, and all of this were rooted in an equal ownership of land. I think the book is really about how my people will be able to overcome poverty if they have access to land. Sarah and I are basically storytellers. We rendered or represent the stories of land reform beneficiaries in Negros Occidental. It was a privilege to hear their stories, and it was also heartwarming that they entrust to us the stories of their lives. And I think our job as writers is to bring the stories forward so that a lot of people would know of the land struggles in Negros Occidental. We heard stories of farmers who were able to improve their lot, like send their children to school, and also families being able to buy appliances, which of course for them that mark a material improvement in their lives. But I think the gains are more than just material for me, because there was one woman who said that she said that life is better and she's happy over the fact that she goes to work every morning without someone scolding her or telling her that she's not doing right before her eyes or his eyes. And I think that is real empowerment, because a lot of people were able to take control over their lives and not depend on someone for their sustenance or for decisions they have to make in their communities or in their families. Maybe the question is, what difference could land reform make, or what difference could struggle on land distribution make? In other words, if the struggle for land distribution is something that every one of us, every Filipino, should support. I believe that it's best if they go to farmers who are in similar situations, like communities of farmers that are demanding lands, that are joining the struggle for land reform in the country. And I think it's always good, or there's always a value in hearing stories firsthand. That's also what we did as writers. We visited the communities and talked to people. There's no substitute for talking to the people directly and hearing the stories of their lives. The book is written simply. It's written for NGO practitioners and land reform advocates. As I said, it's not an academic book on land reform. There's less discussion on theories there. It's really stories of people asking the government to distribute the lands because, of course, for them it means life. On the 6th of November 2018, as this book was going to print, attorney Ben Ramos, founder and leader of Paghida-et sa Kauswagan Development Group, or PDG, the organization discussed at length in this book, was shot dead by assassins in motorcycle in Cabancalan City, Negros Occidental, Philippines. Ben's murder follows the killings of 9 sugarcane workers in Sagay, Negros Occidental, and who were murdered in their sleep in October 2018. This increasing violence is part of a long struggle for change, one that has seen the dominant landed classes continued resistance to change within the context of a culture of increasing impunity and violence. Ben was an extraordinary man who gave so much for the landless poor in the Philippines. He was tireless in the courtroom, in meetings, and in the field, in helping the landless find their voices and claim their legal rights. He was truly one of the greatest visionaries and leaders we have ever had the privilege to meet. The loss of Ben is a deep and devastating loss for all, his family, his friends, and colleagues at PDG. His death is shocking murder, a cruel blow, and it happened at the time when the Philippines needed him more than ever. His vision of social justice and compassion and dedication to others has led him to make the ultimate sacrifice. He is quite simply a hero. It was an honor to have met him. We dedicate this book to him and to the struggle to which he gave his life.